This the Carousel, the host AlxFilming. Came to lock the game like my name Val Demons. Fantasy and flavors,
Yeah.
new edition. The intro to the show is brought by true ambition. Round and round we go, shouts out to Eric Wilson. Knowledge for your wins, all you gotta do is listen. Hungry for info, food for thought, got all your fixing. You know, FOO, value facts over opinion. 4-3-3-4, my defense beats our system. Injury report, winning while I'm grinning. Dominate the point of attack from the line of scrimmage. For long as you can't beat my squad, go gather all your minions. Carousel, 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 this the Carousel. On or you're off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. What? Knock 'em out.
Welcome back to week 13 of the NFL Carousel. It's been a crazy season, and for those who play fantasy, it's make or break time. Either you're done, you're on the bubble, or you just coasting, waiting for this week to end. Let's not play any games. I want to introduce someone new that just hopped on the Carousel. For those who might have said, hey, he doesn't have this representative, well, I'm putting that to sleep tonight. Enter in the 0-11 New York Jets own Mark Lancer.
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for having me on, Al, on such short notice. Listen, there's a lot to talk about with the, well, I like to call them the COVID-19 Jets. Not the 2020 Jets, they're the COVID-19 Jets. Problem is, they're not sick. They just suck. It's been a season from hell, man. And you know what? I honestly, like, you know, after last year, we started off 1-7, and somehow we finished 7-9, won 6-2 in the last, 8 games. And I thought to myself, yo, this is giving me reason to believe that this year is going to be a good year. Well, you know what? I was dead wrong. It's been a shit show. It really has been.
I'm sorry you feel that way. You're in the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes.
You know
You're
what?
in the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes.
And you know what? I hope he doesn't pull a Peyton Manning like he did to us back in '97 after we finished 1-15 in '96, and we had to settle with Keyshawn Johnson. I hope that it doesn't happen. It all depends on who's going to be the coach next year, and it cannot, under any circumstances, be that moron Adam Gase, Mr. Crazy Eyes. He single-handedly sabotaged this franchise. He set us years back. He really has. I mean,
Tell me how you really feel. Go ahead, get it out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I'll tell you how I feel about him. He's absolute garbage. The only few bright spots that I've seen in this Jet team so far this year is maybe Quinnen Williams. He's been great on defense. Everybody wanted to label him a bust. After his rookie season, which wasn't too hot, but he's starting to come into his own in 2020. Another guy that I've been really impressed with is our rookie wide receiver Denzel Mims. He kind of reminds me a bit of like a Brandon Marshall. Like he can make like these ridiculous catches, like in double coverage. And I say to myself, like, damn, we might really have something there, Also, we can't forget about our first-round draft pick from this year, Mekhi Becton. That guy is a monster. But the problem with him is he can't really stay healthy. I'm still hoping he can be like the next DeBrickashaw Ferguson for us. And maybe he will be, but as long as he stays healthy, like the kid's got a very high ceiling.
I completely 100% agree with you. Now, do me a favor, Mark, do me a favor, because I got 2 questions and we're running low on time.
You got
Question number 1. Do they fire Adam Gase at the end of the season? Question number 2. Let's imagine that Trevor Lawrence doesn't want to play for the Jets. What would be plan B? Go.
What do we do if Trevor Lawrence doesn't play for the Jets? I'll answer that one first. Draft Justin Fields. That's what you do. I mean, I don't want to give up on Darnold. I didn't want to give up on Darnold just yet, but he looked like hot garbage when he played against Miami on Sunday. And with Adam Gase, I think what they're going to do is they're probably going to wait to fire him until the season ends because they don't want to screw up this whole Tank for Trevor thing. And to be honest with you, if I have a couple coaches in mind that I'd like to, that I'd like to see in New York, I would bring Jim Harbaugh back. I know he's not doing too hot in college and whatnot. Like, I know he's been just absolutely awful at Michigan. Maybe it's just because he's a bad recruiter. Look at his NFL record. It speaks for itself. And if we're going to go with a coordinator in the league, give me Eric Bieniemy of the Chiefs. Look at what he's done with Mahomes. And another college guy that I'd like to bring along for the ride. Hey, if we're going to get Trevor Lawrence, why not bring Dabo with him too? It makes perfect sense. He knows the kid better than anybody else. He knows how to win. But
all right, fair enough. Mr. Lanzer, take 30 seconds, let the people know who you are, and thank you for hopping on the carousel. This won't be the last time we speak to you.
All right. Yeah, I'm Mark Lanzer. I do video blogs covering the Jets, but I've been kind of boycotting them until they fire Adam Gase or win a game. I don't know which one's going to come first. You can catch my videos and whatever content I have on my Facebook page, facebook.com/LM0N3Y as in L Money. And, Al, it's been great. Thank you for having me on. It was short and sweet. And, I'll be talking to you guys very soon. Thank you again for having me on, even on such short notice. Now, time for me to go back
Not a problem,
and
Mr.
enjoy the rest
Lanzer.
of my
This won't be your last time on the carousel. Yeah, this won't be your last time on the carousel. Now, since we went to the Jets, I want to keep it in the North because I take this rivalry kind of personally. We have one team that finally did the right thing and fired Chuck E. Cheese. And then we have another team that started 5-1 and is on a downward spiral. Can we bring in Dom DeRuby and Eddie BW, please?
Alex, what's up?
How we doing, gentlemen? Eddie shaved over here. Okay, all right. Guys, you know what it is. Detroit versus Chicago. I'm going to be impartial, even though you know where my heart lies. You each got 1 minute and 30 seconds. Dom, you're the visiting team, correct? Yes. So that means you will start first with your 1:30. Eddie, brief intermission, and then you'll go in. To hell with not keeping it below the belt. Just don't curse, say whatever the hell you want. Dom, go.
Oh, let's see. A joyous occasion. We finally fired Fat Matt and Bob Quinn. Now we got the Bears. I'm actually a little worried that we might actually win this game and further hurt our draft stock. I think a lot of our players are very happy that Matt Patricia is gone, so we might be rejuvenated, although we don't seem to have much luck traditionally against the Bears, especially Mitch Trubisky. I think other than maybe his first start against us as a rookie, he's beat us every time since then. He averages around 300 yards a game, 2-3 touchdowns. We're kind of banged up as we were last year. Half of our D-line is missing. A couple of our O-linemen, Kenny Galladay, is still hurt. Don't know if DeAndre Swift's going to play. I don't really know. It's a toss-up. It's a game that we could win, but we probably won't. And there's really, if we're not in tank mode, I don't know why we wouldn't be. Winning games does us no good at this point. But I get this feeling, like I said, rejuvenated. We could come out ahead. I don't know. We'll see. Darrell Bevell seems to be talking a big game so far, talking about have fun and, play loose, play fast. He ran with one of those play with your hair on fire, and I'd love hearing that out of any head coach.
All right. So basically, he's happy that Chuck E. Cheese is no longer in the building.
Ecstatic.
Corona. Sorry. Daryl Bevell's taking over coaching position.
Rolling Rock.
Chicago, are you worried about the Detroit Lions, or are they still in the bottom of the basement of the NFC North? Eddie, talk to him.
Look, the Bears are due right now. They haven't won a game in 6 weeks when they played the Panthers. And add to it that their losing streak, their 2-game losing streak they're on, it's been back-to-back primetime games for them with the bye week in the middle, 2 divisional opponents. I don't see this team losing 3 straight divisional games, especially when the last one is against the Lions. You can say they got lucky the last time. That's fine. But a W is a W, and that's the difference between the Bears potentially being in tank mode and the Bears being in the playoff hunt. And inversely, it'd be the Lions that be still just barely in that playoff picture. You talked about Mitch, and he's had a good run against the Lions. He really didn't play all that bad when you consider he hadn't played in 7 weeks. Plus, the Bears haven't won off a bye week in about 6 years. So when they put up 25 points, that defense really lets them down, because the Bears put up 25 points and that defense doesn't support them like they did last week, they're not going to win many games. But with that defense, they put up a turd last week, but there is no way they're doing that back-to-back weeks, especially when the team they're playing is the Lions, who just lost their coach. And it could be a bad thing, could be a good thing. I guess I'll get to say a little bit more about that in a minute here.
All right, guys. Y'all are being awfully nice for being NFC North opponents. Dom, I want you to tell me the score of the game and why you guys are going to win.
24-21, but I don't see it being us winning. Like I said, I don't know how or why, other than the fact that our defense is trash, but Mitch Trubisky has our number. I'd love to sit here and tell you we're going to win, but I can't lie to the people.
Eddie, do your thing, man.
All right, look, you call it 24-21. I'm going to call it 24-14 because I know the Bears can't score 5 touchdowns, so they're going to have to get a field goal in there, right? Now, look, Matt Patricia might be gone, but that's not going to help this Lions team. They've got way too many holes. The only situation this year where we've seen a coach come in the middle of the year and turn a team around is in Houston. And in both cases, it's too little too late because they've got the Colts and the Titans run away with their division, and we have the Packers and the Vikings, and the Bears still barely in the mix trying to get into that playoff spot. I don't see the Lions really putting forth a big effort to win this one, if we're being honest, because they need way too much help. Both teams are this close to being stuck in mediocrity purgatory when it comes draft time.
Let me be completely honest with both of you. I'm actually glad they fired Matt Patricia because they should have never gotten rid of Jim Caldwell. But that's a story for a different day. And on that same storyline, why the hell did Chicago pass up on to get Mitchell Trubisky for Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson? I think both teams need to do a little lesson on diversity. Gentlemen, thank you for your time. Dom, you first. Eddie, you second. Take 20 seconds. Let the people know who you are.
I'm down here. Not fair weather. All the time. Lions representative. You can find me on my Facebook page. I'm also in Exclusive Sports, the Sports Gauntlet, Sports Talk and Thirst. I'm here.
Yeah. Like it says, I'm Ben Weyer, and lifelong Bears fan. You can find me at BDT Football, and you can check out my podcast as well. We're on Twitter. We got a Facebook page. I think it's Big Dudes in the Trenches on Facebook. So yeah, give us a look if you're curious.
Carousel, yeah. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, this the carousel. On or you off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. What? Knock 'em out. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, this the carousel. On or you're off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. What? Knock 'em out.
Was it just me, or did Pittsburgh not look too good Wednesday against the Baltimore Ravens depleted team? Between second and third stringers, the score was 19-14. Well, Pittsburgh got screwed again. They have a quick turnaround, but it's a Monday evening game, not Monday night, against a very hot Washington football team. Who does one thing good? Rush the passer. This could be a trap game. But it doesn't matter because it's a football world and we all just live in it. Can you please bring in the one and only John Turner?
I resent that we only do one thing right. We do a few things right, and we're getting better all the time. Thanks for having me, Alex. How are you?
I'm good, sir. Been working, doing my thing, shaking haters off, and writing on the side. You know that Pittsburgh is 11-0, though, right?
Haven't lost a game since Christ was a corporal.
With that being said, can we bring in the 13-year-old phenom that's still got a smile on his face, Dan Bequetigo?
Oh,
Can't hear you.
sorry. What's good,
There we
guys?
go. How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing
Now
great.
this game is in Pittsburgh, but this feels like a trap game. It surely does. Mr. Turner, you will be starting first because you are on the road. 1 minute, 30 seconds. I would say take it easy, but that's not your style, sir. Floor is yours.
Hey, take it easy, man. Hey, look, Pittsburgh Steelers, all prayers up and a fast recovery to Bud Dupree. Your second in sacks leader on the team with 8 sacks on the season. He actually also leads the team in forced fumbles on the defense. He's also the team leader in tackles at the running back position. In the zone blitz scheme that you guys run, he is a very important player and a team leader, a guy that's been on the team since his playing career as a professional began. He is now gone for the year. And then we have Big Benny Blanco, Ben Roethlisberger from Ohio at quarterback. Pretty good at not taking sacks, hard to take down. But guess who's coming to town? It's the Washington football team, who has 36 sacks on the season. And you guys have 41 sacks on the season. However, if you take away the 8, now that you've lost from Bud Dupree not being on the squad, we actually create more sacks than the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, so therefore, our pass rush is more important than your pass rush this particular week. I believe that not only will our running backs out-route receive your linebackers in coverage, that we will also out-sack your front seven. What say you?
Ooh, hey, he wants smoke. Dan, rise up. It's you.
Well, we talked about the defensive line. Not the Redskins. The Washington football team has been very great. They're not what their record shows. They're not 3-8. I think they are. They're not that. They're much better than their record states. And I have a ton of respect, especially for Alex Smith coming off that injury, and he's back on the field. As it's great to see him back in the field as always. And I think you have the number 1 pass defense in the league. We have been passing the ball a lot recently. Ben had like 51 attempts yesterday, which is pretty alarming because our run game is garbage. We cannot run the football. I don't know how. Marquise Pouncey was out. JC was pretty good, filling in for Marquise, but it was against the Ravens backups. The defensive line was total garbage for them, but we were struggling against the run still. I don't know how we can fix the run. We've been struggling to good and bad run defenses. And we can really show our team here. If Bud Dupree's out, we need to fill it. We need Alex Highsmith to fill in the gaps. This is a game to show that we're not supposed to be relaxed. We need to fight every single game, every single down, because it's been one possession games throughout these past few weeks, and it might be getting scary here in Pittsburgh.
Is it just me or does Pittsburgh look a little bit vulnerable? As Mr. Turner already mentioned, the sack party has been known to happen. Ask Philadelphia, ask Dallas, ask a lot of teams. John Turner, What's the prediction for the game, and how are they going to get it done?
They're going to get it done with pressure up the middle, as far as adding pressure to the quarterback. Ben Roethlisberger, we've already said it. He can run around, make things happen with his legs. He's not a fast guy. He just refuses to be sacked. He finds a way to get the ball out of his hands and not into the hands of the other team. But here's a prediction for you. 6 sacks by the Washington football team, at least 1 interception by Kendall Fuller. And I predict that both McKissick and Gibson have at least 75 total yards from scrimmage on the game. You guys are good at what you do over there, and you guys will be prepared to play this game. But I feel that the energy level that Washington is playing with right now is going to defeat the preparation that Pittsburgh will have against them. So,
thank you, Mr. Turner. You're mindful of the clock. I was going to let you speak, though. Antonio Gibson did have 115 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's a weapon that's starting to get in his own mode. And J.D. McKissick, he gets a lot of touches. So he's not lying, Daniel. What say you? How are you going to win this game, and what's the score going to be?
We're going to win this game by forcing turnovers. We won the last game against Baltimore through that pick 6 by Joe Hayden. And Alex Smith has turned the ball over pretty frequently these past few games, especially against the Giants a few weeks back. He turned it over thrice in a short span. And that's how we're going to win. Pressure, turn the ball over. We are not going to win through points. We're not going through into the offense because Washington's defense is heavily underrated. I think they're one of the most underrated teams in the league. Their record doesn't show what they are. And yeah, turnovers, let's say 21-14. We win by a pick 6 from Joe Hayden, not late through game, but there's going to be a pick 6 in this game. I certainly believe that.
All right. Daniel, I'm going to let you go first. Age before beauty, if you will. Let the people know where they can find you and what you do, young man.
Well, you can find me on Facebook on NFL's Greatest Debate Room and my Facebook page, I'm Steeler Fan. And yeah, on Facebook as well at Daniel Bancarigo. And here we go, Steelers. Let's bring this to 12-0, but it's not going to be easy.
And I'm John Turner from A Football World. It's a football world. We're all just passing through. You can find me at afootballworld.com, A Football World on YouTube, A Football World on Facebook, A Football World on Twitter, A Football World on Instagram. It's a football world. I told you, we're all just passing through. And that's an impossible score, Daniel. 21-14 is unrealistic. The Redskins or the Washington football team does not allow even scores like that. It's going to be something like 16-13. Okay, and one of the teams will win and one of the teams will lose.
Thank you, guys. This has been real. I do smell smoke. Don't be shocked if this is an upset. Now, let's transition. The Chargers are 3-8, but they're the most scariest 3-8 team that you've ever seen in your life. Herbert's starting to figure it out, and he's taking his mulligans his rookie season, which means year 2 and year 3, he's going to be a problem. Enter in our own JB Ellis.
What's up, Alex? How's it going?
Pretty good. Long time no see, sir. JB, tell the people about the program.
So the program is an interview show. We have a lot of athletes and announcers that are on there from ESPN and all the major networks. It's on the Believe Network twice a week, Monday and Thursday. Definitely subscribe. So yeah, I mean the Chargers, man, they're tough. They're falling into the trap where they're losing games they should be winning, but you have to look at it. You know, we have Herbert playing right now, and he's phenomenal. The only rookie ever to have more passing yards, Mahomes. Now, if everything that he does every week, when you look at the NFL stat sheet that they send out, you're looking at the people in front of him. He's second to Mahomes, to Roethlisberger, to Rodgers. You're looking at the names in front of him, and he's just getting better and better. He just does everything. They're going to be a dominant team, and it's going to be a fun division next year once they start winning the games that they should be winning between them and the Chiefs.
True or false? If the Chargers had a healthy defense, and that includes Derwin James, they would be a playoff team this year.
Definitely. I mean, I can think back to how many games that, were really close that they lost, that, you know, a play here, a play there changes everything. We're not even talking, you know, series, just one play. Look at the Denver game a couple of weeks back that they lost in the last play of the game, you know, on a pass interference call that they got the ball at the 1 yard line. You know, plays like that change seasons, and they've had that happen a number of games, not just one. So
Anthony Lynn was number 6 in my top 10 list of players on the coaches on the hot seat. I said he makes it through the season only because he's got a rookie quarterback that he has to play and of injuries. Does Anthony Lynn survive this season?
you know, I'm not convinced it's Anthony Lynn's fault right now, thinking about it and looking at the team. Yes, I mean, you know, you got to find a way to win these games, and it all falls down to the head coach. But like you said, with the injuries, you know, I'd like to see him with a healthy team. Herbert's come out and done more than anybody expected. You know, when he came in, he was the third quarterback. You know, you have Tua and Burrow that people are much higher on. And before Burrow got hurt, it was safe to say that Herbert was number one. You know, I argue about that on Journey with the Jays with John Shear all the time. He says that Herbert didn't pass his eye test, but I think John needs to, you know, get his glasses adjusted. You know, because when you look at things, you know, Herbert has done everything. You can't blitz him. He's, you know, one of the best quarterbacks against the blitz in the league, and he's a rookie. Third down, he's phenomenal. There's nothing the guy hasn't done, and he's done that without Eckler, who's been hurt for part of the year. You know, and some rookie running backs. You gotta. The offense is phenomenal, and the defense is banged up. So I'd like to see Lynn get another shot, unless they're going to go out and get somebody that's proven that they can win, or Bieniemy, who I think deserves a job.
Everybody's talking about Bieniemy, Bieniemy. All right, now you're qualified. You talk football. You're a knowledgeable man. What would it take for Eric Bieniemy to leave the offensive coordinator position to Kansas City and go to the Los Angeles Chargers?
You know, it depends on what he wants. Does he want to be a head coach? You know, especially in a city like LA. I mean, it's not like New York. The press isn't as serious and as tough as it would be in New York. But does he want to face the scrutiny of having to deal with the press? I mean, you see it eats coaches alive. Matt Patricia, before he got fired in Detroit, got eaten alive. What did he do on his resume? He had that issue when he first got hired. You know, I mean, about time they got rid of him. But you look, does he want to deal with that? Right now, he's working under Andy Reid. He has it nice and cushy. Mahomes as his quarterback. But I think with Herbert leading them right now and the stars they have on defense, I think it's a good position. And I can't see many people turning down that opportunity to take that job if they get it, if they get offered.
Stephon Gilmore, J.C. Jackson, New England Patriots. I'm not worried about their offense. That defense is still solid. How do you see Herbert, Allen, and the reemergence of Austin Eckler attacking this Bill Belichick defense?
Well, this is going to be a good challenge for him because, you know, Belichick is really great at scheming defenses. I had the opportunity to interview Al Groh a couple of weeks ago and got into Belichick's mindset and what he does. And, you know, hearing about it from someone who worked with him, you got to learn a lot of different things about Belichick. And I think that Herbert's going to be challenged, but this is what he needs. This is going to help him grow. And this year is kind of lost anyway. We're, you know, not making the playoffs. We're 3-8, but you know, this is the opportunity he needs to learn. So next year he can put the pieces together with the healthy defense and challenge for the division against Kansas City.
Last question before I let you go. Herbert, this season, what's the outside chance they upset Kansas City in their second meeting?
I don't see it happening. You know, Kansas City still is in contention for home field advantage. I don't think it's going to happen. The Steelers are a lock, I think, in my mind, at 10-0, but Kansas City is going to try and win as many games as they can. And, you know, I think that right now, with the defense having the troubles that they're having, I don't see it happening. So I would say maybe 25% at this point. But you never know. Division games are tough. They know each other so well, anything can happen.
I don't know if you got a shout out or something you want to say, but go ahead and take 30 seconds and let the people know who you are, JB.
Definitely. So you guys can watch, listen to the program on the Believe Network, anywhere you listen to podcasts. And definitely Journey with the Jays on Real 1100 in Atlanta Thursdays and the Sunday pregame show, 12 to 12:30. Also on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. Thanks so much, Alex. Have a great week.
Carousel, carousel, carousel. This the carousel. On or you off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out. Carousel, carousel, carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out.
Any of you guys speak French? Do you know what a menage a trois is? It's a household of three. Why I say that is because sometimes you need backup whenever you want to beat down your opponent. One's just too strong for one. Maybe it takes two. With that being said, can we bring in the ladies of the Dallas Cowboys, Stacey Ashton and Megan Price?
Hey guys.
Looking lovely today, ladies.
Thank you.
This is going to be a little bit awkward for me. I'm going to be watching. I won't record though. But you two are going to be double teaming on this poor soul representing the Baltimore Ravens at 6-5, John Shear.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey John.
Hey John.
So this is how it's going to go. Stacey, you'll go first. Then Megan, you'll go second. We'll have a brief pause. And then John, you'll reply. After that, John, you'll give your 45 seconds, and then we'll go to Megan's 45 seconds, and then Stacey's 45 seconds. So you're stuck in the middle, literally and figuratively, John. Ladies, you each get a minute apiece. I figure between the two of you, a minute apiece, you'll be able to tear them apart. Have fun, ladies. Stacey, it's your world.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me on. I'll say, first off, let's get the obvious out of the way. The Dallas Cowboys have not been good this year. That being said, the Dallas Cowboys have played well this year. They've tried hard. They've put some games on the line. They've almost made it. However, the Ravens, they're looking really suspect. They've had a lot going on with the COVID and all the things and all the stuff. But even before then, they're not looking good. So, you might want to say that Lamar is going to pick up this whole team and total them on his back, but he's not. I think this is absolutely 100% a trap game. You're going to come into it off of this, haven't had your starters and haven't had your things, and I've got all these excuses, and you haven't had to practice, and you haven't. But the Dallas Cowboys been off since Thanksgiving. So let's talk about how often you have that much time with a coach, with a team that is in disrepair. Guess what? We're going to come back. We're going to come back hard, and we are going to play well.
Okay, John. So I'm going to take the opposite view of Stacey, and I'm going to say this is y'all's game. I think y'all go up 28-20, us down. And I think the wild card factor for the Ravens game is going to be Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant is going to be emotional playing his former team and could quite possibly have a breakout game with you guys. While we have a few good points, I think the defense came in on the Washington game and they played well in the first half. We had Wilson with 7 tackles and Gregory with 3 tackles and 2 sacks. There were a few upsides. Coop had a good game, but basically we are in disrepair. And I think we need to focus on our top 5 draft pick, defense, obviously. Maybe we could get Gerry to be quiet comparing us the QB situation to Denver's because they're vastly different. Other than that, I think y'all's downfall is going to be that Lamar isn't expected back until Sunday or Monday. So they haven't practiced in forever. So maybe, but I got y'all.
I guess it's my time to talk to you two ladies. So you said you've been off since Thanksgiving, the last time you lost to the Washington football team, who they're not a great team. I mean, they have Alex Smith starting off of a broken leg. So that's, not a very good team. But anyway, you're coming to Baltimore. Baltimore almost beat Pittsburgh. I know the score wasn't as close as the score indicated, but Baltimore's defense played really well against Pittsburgh on the road with all this COVID stuff. So you have to give Baltimore their credit for what they did against Pittsburgh. Their defense still was humming. And then you guys got Andy Dalton coming to Baltimore. Now here's something I want to compare the Cowboys to the Wizard of Oz. Okay. So we've got the guy without courage, the cowardly lion, that's Mike McCarthy. The scarecrow without a brain, Jerry Jones. And then the Tin Man, we're going to change him to the guy without a leg, because that's Dak Prescott. So you guys kind of remind me of the Wizard of Oz. Sorry. Oops. That one stings.
Taking shots, bro.
Shots
Okay.
fired.
Yeah. How are you going to win the game? What's going to be the score? And what's your expectations of El Freaky? Go.
Yeah, so obviously Baltimore proved that it doesn't have to be Lamar Jackson against inferior teams. They'll get J.K. Dobbins back. They'll get Mark Ingram back. They'll have Gus Edwards. They'll have Justice Hill. They'll have all their guys running. Mark Andrews probably won't play. But they don't need that. They just need their defense to play well, which isn't hard against the Dallas Cowboys, whose offensive line is extremely depleted, as we all know. And that was the thing that really got them going over the past couple of years. And now Zeke looks like a shell of his former self without that offensive line. So it's going to be interesting to see how you guys get that offense going, because you're not going to beat the Ravens with defense. You're going to have to beat them by scoring points. And the Ravens, what they do best is play defense. I think people forget that just because of Lamar Jackson. So 28-10.
Well, I think that I think y'all's downfall is going to be Lamar. Honestly, even though he's been off for a while, you could probably blame that on that. But you said you almost beat Pittsburgh, but I mean, we almost beat Pittsburgh with our fourth string quarterback. So I don't think that that's going to be the factor. I think the factor for y'all is going to be y'all's offense, but only if Lamar can be in sync with the team, be in sync with Dez, and he's struggled already even before COVID. So what's the break from the team actually going to do for y'all's offensive line? Not a lot. Now, defense does win games, and B-Moore's defense is definitely not top-notch, but up there, So, I mean, I don't know how great you can feel about beating the Dallas Cowboys offense right now, but, I mean, y'all might win.
Well, I'll say first off, you're gonna bring up Pittsburgh. Well, we almost had it. We almost had it again, as Megan said, with the fourth string. I will say though that I think your defense is much more suspect than what everyone is saying. And I will say, they've had a little bit of time now to gel. They've had a little bit more time to talk about plays and come up with some trick stuff that Baltimore can't handle. So I think we're going to see a whole lot more Philly special type plays. And I'm not really relying on the quarterback. We're just going to do some stuff. And with that, Zeke has had, we're going to have to think about how horrible he is. So you don't have a run defense. Zeke Elliott's going to get back in the game. I'm going to go 21-17.
All right, ladies, thank you for being so gracious. John, thank you. I actually have to say thank you for being a savage. I wanted you to do that, and you did not disappoint. We will be watching in awe of the Tuesday night game. Ladies, let's start with Stacy, because it's a football world and we just live in it.
I'm Stacy. You can find me in a football world. I do a lot of football things. Tomorrow's Free Talk Friday. Come join us. A football world, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the things.
Megan?
Well, guys, I'm on Facebook mainly. I have a Facebook Live that's an NBA discussion on Saturdays at 7 Central. But if you want to talk football, I have several public posts. Add me. And I'm on Instagram also, Kennedy's Mom. Feel free to add me and let's talk sports.
As always, Journey with the Jays on Real 1100, Real 1100 AM in Atlanta. You can check that out on the iHeartRadio or TuneIn app. You can check us out on Perched at the Yard on Podbean. You'll find our podcast on there as well. In addition to YouTube, Twitch, and anywhere you find your social media, you'll find Journey with the J's.
Carousel, carousel, carousel. This the carousel. On or you off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out. Carousel, carousel, carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out.
Can we have a talk with the champs? After my team was thoroughly beat down by the Kansas City Chiefs, I figure it's only fair if I check in on Kansas City and see how they're doing. Can we please bring in Kerry Johnson? How you doing, Kerry?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, sir?
I'm glad it's a bye week. How about that?
Well, I do have a message from Bub, my son. Are you ready? He wants you to make sure that Tom is aware that bingo starts at 2, so he wants Tom to be aware of that so he can get his rest in and be ready to go with all the other elderly in the local nursing home to play bingo.
Nursing home jokes. 43. Nursing home jokes. Yep. Okay. That was a little bit too early for that one. That's fine. Tyreek Hill was sensational. It is fair to say that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. I won't argue that. There's nothing to argue. What's the ceiling for Patrick Mahomes in this offense?
I don't like to put bold predictions out there because, I've had the door slammed in my face a couple times being a longtime fan, but I do believe we're headed back to do a repeat. I don't know that there's many that can stop us because even when given just a short amount of time, we can go down and put 7 up on the board. So I think that I think we're Super Bowl bound. I think we're taking it back, and I think we're going to take it back strong.
All right. So you saw the game like I saw the game. Tyreek Hill torched my secondary. It was embarrassing. It was disheartening. And why the hell they didn't double until the second half, I do not know. Tell me how Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill are 2 of the top 5 receivers in the NFL today. What's going on?
I think it has everything to do with the fact that there's a trust built up between the 3 of them, Mahomes, Kelce, and Hill, that they're going to be there, they're going to back their guy, and they're not going to throw blame or shade on Mahomes. They're going to take it. If it's theirs, they're going to own it. And they're not the ones that are like, well, if he just hit it right or things like that. That's not him. They play that team as a team atmosphere. I think when you have that and you have the confidence between the 3 of them, it helps carry the team further. It provides stability in the fact that there's more than one person to go to. And, it's kind of like the next man up type situation where if those 2 are covered, we've got other people that can step up and say, all right, you guys you're undercover. We're going ahead and step out, and they can't stop us all.
Didn't you have another message for me, or somebody else had something else they wanted to say to me?
Yeah, Colby also wanted to tell you that he thought Davis was probably a top 5, safety because he was so much in love with Hill. He was wanting you to know that he thought that Hill had really put the burns on him.
I see. Top 5 safety. He plays corner.
Oh, I'm sorry, corner. My bad. That was me.
Okay, we got jokes. We got jokes. Sunday night matchup, Denver Broncos. Nobody, and I mean nobody, expects Denver to win this game. Why do I smell Flint and Steel? How can Denver expose Kansas City?
first of all, I have to say I feel really bad for Denver. Obviously, they didn't follow protocol, and that's why they got their hand slapped last week. But I do feel bad that they had to put an all area tryout for a quarterback. And as Colby said, maybe anyone that can throw over 20 yards would get a chance, no matter their age. I think that you get in the our team could get a little complacent in knowing that they haven't had their quarterback, that they're going through all the a couple of men down. That if our team sets back and are complacent, then they have us to come at us. Denver has been a long time rival, but I always like when we able to shut down My Little Ponies.
Last but not least, is there a chance? Why am I getting bingo scores? Okay, all right, somebody's got jokes. I'm getting bingo scores. Okay, all right. Woo. Last but not least, Patrick Mahomes. Does he break the record for most touchdown passes thrown? Yes, no.
Yes.
Does he do it in a faster time than Aaron Rodgers broke Drew Brees' record?
The potential's there. Max Kellerman said a couple of weeks ago that, and I've been thinking about this, kind of an interesting twist. They don't want to, we got where it got to be where Brady was getting the MVP a lot and things like that people got frustrated. Kellerman said to change it to the Mahomes trophy, and then the way Mahomes always gets noted for being the best.
All right. Miss Johnson, do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
Give a shout out to you and Kobe. Take 30 seconds, let the people know who you are, and give some love to your Kansas City Chiefs.
They're always going to be my guys, no matter what. Live die by the Chiefs. You can find myself on Facebook, Carrie Johnson, or Colby is on Instagram. Hook us up. We both love to talk about football, and love to trade smack talk.
Carousel, carousel, carousel. This the carousel. On or you off? Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out. Carousel, carousel, carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off? Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out.
We've been blessed to have not one but two Monday night games this upcoming week for week 13. First one is going to be Washington football team versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I believe we spoke about that. The second one is the Buffalo Bills versus the San Francisco 49ers. Now, I don't know about you, but I like our chances against the 49ers. And when I say our, I mean Buffalo Bills, Bills Mafia. And with Bills Mafia, that means Mookie Hawkins. But I'll save that for a second or two. Mookie will be a house in just a second. Fantasy-wise, who's hot, who's not? Are you targeting Latavius Murray because Taysom Hill doesn't know how to throw a touchdown pass and hogs the ball? Are you taking a chance on Josh Gordon? Are you going to take a chance on Josh Gordon? Better yet, DraftKings, are you going to pick up Antonio Gibson, assuming that he's going to do what he did against the Dallas Cowboys, against the Pittsburgh Steelers secondary, knowing darn well that Bud Dupree is no longer part of the mix? You know what? Let's forget about the West Coast and Monday night games, because people seem to forget, even though Miami didn't play him, it's still Tua time. Gerry.
How's it going, man?
Welcome, Gerry. What's up, yo?
Not much, man. Just been working a bunch and getting to it. How you been?
You know I work like a dog. I've just been working, handling my business, Gerry, handling my business. Speaking of handling your business, I saw Miami play a game last week without Tua Tagovailoa and still win.
Well, yeah, we've been doing that all season, man. By what I hear, they're about to give Xavier Howard his own island.
He deserves his own island because he's been shutting people down, straight FedEx style.
Oh yeah.
Let's be honest with each other. I thought Tua wasn't going to play this year. They got him acclimated into the system. Ryan Fitzpatrick has been an excellent backup. For the rest of this season, do you start Tua or start Fitzpatrick, or do you rotate? What's the plan?
So looking into things with that, man, I got to say, like, I myself would start Tua every chance I get. Unfortunately, the questions that were had prior to the draft pick may be coming to fruition, unfortunately. You know, in the past 2 weeks, last week he was benched because of a hurt thumb. The week before, even though he played, all of a sudden he had a hurt foot. He had something wrong with one of his toenails or something. It's a couple injuries in a couple of weeks, so it's not looking, you know, nothing too serious, nothing bad. He's got banged up the week before, so I understand the thumb thing. And we're looking to keep him for next season and keep him healthy. So I think that's why they rolled with Fitzpatrick, who, again, has been a great quarterback. He's been a great fill-in. He's doing the things he needs to do. We saw him take the loss at the last game that we were losing when he came down the field, marched down the field quick, and then interception at the end. That's what you get with him, though. You know, you can either have a very high ceiling or a very low floor when it comes to Fitzpatrick. And that's with Tua, we've got more of a well-rounded offense. There's not as much chance for turnovers, I think, which works out well. As long as our defense and special teams keeps up, I'd like to see Tua getting in there and getting his knocks now and getting some knowledge in and being able to carry us even further next season. You know, like you said, this is unexpected for everybody, being this far along, being what we're doing. You know, they're talking playoffs.
I was getting to that.
Next season, you know.
I was getting to that. All right, so the NFL pulled a mad cobra on the Miami Dolphins and flexed you. Week 16 against the Vegas Raiders. What do you think about that?
That's going to be a good game. I think we'll be able to take the Raiders. I've seen a lot of enticing turnovers to say, you know, our defense is strong right now. Our defense is playing real strong. Our special teams is playing real strong. Derek Carr himself has been knocked up or banged up. He's been not as consistent. And, you know, there's been some turnovers there. I think we're going to be able to capitalize on that. I think that's also going to be a big game, them. And then with Buffalo, too, those are two big games as to where we're going to have position in the playoffs coming up. We're both fighting for good spots there. And I think those two games alone are going to be a lot. Those two are going to be what says what happens. Out of the next 4 games, they're rough. We've got the Chiefs, we've got the Patriots, we've got the Raiders, and we've got the Bills. This week coming up is the Bengals, and as we saw 2 weeks ago, any given Sunday.
You're still saying any given Sunday, huh, Gerry?
Oh, man. There he is. Baby, how you like it? We're right behind you.
Didn't you say that week 2?
I did say that week 2. And didn't you barely beat us?
We let y'all back in the game. What are you talking about?
You squeaked one in. You squeaked one out.
We squeaked one in?
Oh, yeah.
We squeaked one in?
Yeah.
Well, let me do you this favor real quick, Gerry. You know what I mean? I hate to, bust your little bubble. I know y'all been on a great little run and all of that. But it's over, okay? This is what's going to happen, all right? We're going to knock off San Fran, prime time. We're going to knock off the undefeated Steelers, prime time. Oh, the division. The division will be over in 3 weeks. So y'all better hope y'all win games because y'all not winning the division. It's not going to come down to week 17. And if it did, it's going to be so cold that Tunga Tuifa-Loa is not going to be able to pronounce his last name. That's how cold it's going to be. So y'all don't have a rat's ass in the chance of beating us week 17. The division will be wrapped up week 13. So y'all need week 14. So y'all need to be, figuring out how y'all going to beat Kansas City and all the other AFC teams, okay?
All right. Well,
now to be fair, Miami is ahead of expectations. This is a good team on the rise.
Yes, they are. I give them that. Hey, great job. Coach Flores is doing a good job out there. But y'all not quite ready to mess around with the big dogs up here in Buffalo right here.
The
You know what I mean?
big
Y'all not
dogs.
ready.
You guys act like you've been running a division for years. You barely squeaked in this season just because the Patriots fell off. So let's
Yeah,
go back
whatever.
to honesty.
However you want to
Let's go back
nickname
to
that, Gary.
honesty.
However you
Let's
want
go
to
back to
nickname that.
honesty.
But
You
it's
got
all
one
good for
game
y'all to
ahead
have
of us.
y'all success right now, though. But it's all good that
You
y'all
got
can have
one
y'all
game.
success.
You
But
got
the
one
Bills
game
can't.
over
The
us
Bills
right now.
can't
There ain't
flex
no
though.
week 14. We're locking up the division. It's going to come down to week 17 because by week 15,
We
we're going to be in
destroyed
first
y'all
place.
week 2. What you think's gonna happen in week 17?
We're going to beat you because now our team's come together. You remember, we've got 17 rookies and second-year guys. So, yeah, week 2, we were still getting things rolling. We're still getting things
We got
together.
a young team
We
too.
didn't have the defense.
We got a young team too. I mean,
Yeah.
who's old on our team? Who's old on our team?
Exactly.
We got a young
You
team
guys have a
too.
young team as well. But it's not as spectacular. It hasn't been a spark, man. It hasn't been, bam, let's do it.
Ain't been
Josh
a
Allen's
spark.
making mistakes.
I don't
Josh
know.
Allen's dropping the – oh, come on now. We want to
Oh,
go
come
there?
on now.
Come on now, man. You're talking about 2 weeks. You're going to lock
Please
it
don't
up. That's
talk
not
about
even
Josh Allen right
mathematically
now.
possible.
Please do not talk about Josh Allen because
That's
nobody,
not even
none of y'all in
mathematically
Miami would have thought he would be nowhere near as good as he is right now. So don't even sit up here and talk about Josh Allen.
Oh, no, I
Please
didn't
stop
think
it.
he would be as good as he is. He's doing damn good. No disrespect to him. Let's not take away from it. However, turnovers.
What turnovers?
What?
What?
Wasn't
He
it last
fumbled
week?
the ball. Okay. Listen, let me tell you something. When do you turn the ball over 3 times in the fourth quarter and still win by 10?
When is it
When?
okay to turn the
What
ball
team?
over 3 times
What
in the
team?
fourth
But
quarter?
what team? I'm asking you a question. What team? What team do you know that can turn the ball over in the fourth quarter 3 times
Who were you playing?
and still win by 10?
Who were you playing?
Who
I
was
mean-
playing the Chargers?
Yeah, the Chargers. They're horrible. Just because
Oh,
they
my
beat the
God.
Dolphins doesn't make them any better.
Who did y'all just lose to?
Just because they beat
Who
the
did y'all
Dolphins
just
doesn't
lose to?
make them any better. And actually,
Who
we
did
just
the
beat
Dolphins
Jets.
just lose to?
The Chargers.
Oh,
Just
my
be-
God.
Just because they beat us doesn't make them any good.
Come on, that's what you saying. You're right. They ain't
Wait a
good.
second, wait a
They ain't
second.
good. And that's why we can afford to turn the ball over in the fourth quarter 3 times and still win by 10 because they ain't good. You know what I mean? But y'all ain't going to give the Bills no credit. We ain't going to do nothing but win on the week
Of
to
course
week
not.
like
And
we've
you
been
ain't going to
doing.
give us no credit, even though we're right behind you in the standings, waiting to take over our division
Take over.
again.
Ain't no
Our
taking
division
over, Gary.
again.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
going to be a
it's
while.
happening, man. You guys
gonna
got
be a while.
lucky at the beginning of the year.
It's going to be a while for that one, Gary. Sorry.
Nah. Only a couple or 3 weeks now.
3 weeks. Listen, when we
He's
beat New
saying
England,
3 weeks. He's not even saying it.
when
He's
we
saying
beat
3
New
weeks.
England, y'all gonna have to find a different path. The division will be clinched. Our magic number is 1. We have not lost a game in the division. So once we beat New England,
I'm sorry,
we
is
will
this
be
college
5
football?
wins. Listen, hold on. We'll
Is
have
this college
5
football?
wins.
Is this
1,
is this
2,
college
3.
football? Then
1,
what the hell are
2,
you talking
3,
about
4,
division wins
5.
for?
Listen, y'all got 2 L's in the division, bro. It's not gonna happen. Y'all got 2 losses.
When is
Y'all
this
have
college
2
football?
losses.
Is
Let me
this college
finish.
football?
Let me finish, and I'll let you have the floor.
Okay.
When we beat New England, we will be the AFC division champion that night. All right? Because we'll be 5-0 in the division. Only person we got to do is play Miami. If we choose not to play our ones and lose, we will still win the division. Because y'all have 2 losses in the division already. Y'all lost to us and y'all lost to New England already.
Okay.
All right? So that X y'all out. So y'all better find a different path on making it to the playoffs, Gary.
I'm just
'Cause
talking
it won't
about
be
having
the
a better
division
record
route.
than the Bills.
It won't be the division route, Gary.
First of all, we're not in college football, so the division record doesn't matter till you guys.
It
tie
do
us.
matter.
No,
It do
wait,
matter. How
We
do you
have to
think the
have
team
the
can go
same record.
7-9 and still win their division? Because they won all their games. How you gonna say we not the division champion? We 6-0 in the division.
Huh? A better record. It's a
How?
standard record first and
No
foremost.
way, Gary.
It's got nothing to do with the
No
division
way.
until then. This isn't college.
Okay.
This isn't college.
All right.
So the first way to win the division is you have to have a better overall record.
So
which
what's
we're
going
to
on?
have.
So what's going on in the NFC
We're
East
going-
there? Because none of them have a winning record, Gary.
They
None
don't
of them have
to.
a
It's
winning
about
record.
beating
So
the
you
other
mean to tell
people
me
in the
that they're not
division.
going to make the playoffs?
It's about beating the other people in the division.
How? You got to win your
gotta
division.
understand,
That's the
obviously,
difference.
Obviously, I took you as a higher knowledge with football. Let me break
Yeah, I
it
am
down.
higher knowledge. When you
Let me break
control
it
your
down for you.
you control your destiny on
Let me-
winning the division.
Let me
That's
let me
it.
break it down for you. Let me break
That's
it down for
it.
you. No, you're wrong. Let me break it down
How
for you.
wrong?
Let me
How? So the Bills don't
remember
make
you
it to the
asked me-
playoffs. The Bills don't make it to the playoffs as the AFC East division champion. That's what you're saying?
Yes, you guys will get into the wild card spot because we're going to be the division
But
champions.
we won't make it to the playoffs, but we did the AFC East division champion.
No, we're going to be the champions. You're going to take a wild card spot.
Don't
And
make
let
no
me explain
sense,
to you
Gary.
why.
Don't make
Let
no
me explain
sense.
to you why. Because our overall
Let's give
record,
Gerry 30 seconds, and then I got to break you two up. All right, Gerry, 30, go.
overall record decides who the division leader is. Okay? It doesn't matter about the division wins until there's a tie. If we have the same record as the Bills and the Dolphins overall, let's say the season ended, we're both 11-5, okay? 11-5 for both teams. Then the division record would matter. When we end up 11-5 and you guys end up 9-7 or 10-6, we are the division champions. Plain and simple. That's it. There is no questions. That's the way it works. This isn't college.
That's your final answer?
That's my final answer.
So let me
Gerry
get this straight.
Pistola.
Let me get this straight. So you're banking on us just tanking out these last 6 games so we can finish 9-7. So let me get this straight. You want me to believe that Ernesto was a stoolie because Sosa said so? You bought that, Gary. You bought that. So I don't know what makes you think that we just gonna hit rock bottom the way that our team is playing right now.
It ain't rock
You
bottom.
saying we're gonna go 9-7, so you saying we're gonna win one more game and lose the rest of them. That's not even logical at this point, Gary.
Gentlemen, you two have earned a primetime spot week 17. Week 17, I want to start the show with you two.
It's not gonna
I'm
be.
going to give y'all 10 minutes.
Listen, Alex. It's not even gonna be a reason to. Week 17 is
I
they're
know,
gonna be
he's
playing
gonna
our
be upset.
twos.
He's not even
Ryan
gonna sign
Fitzpatrick
on.
gonna be in the game because they don't want Tua to get hurt because it's a meaningless game. Unless they need a win to make the playoffs to be the 17th. And they better hope that COVID comes into the play so it could be an 18.
Wow.
On our watch, on the
We
Buffalo
already
Bills watch,
15
the
right
Miami
now. You're
Dolphins
talking
will
about
not make the
17.
playoffs. They will not win the division.
Y'all got us by a game right now. Talking about
Listen, bro.
17.
Even Jimmy Hoffa know that the Bills is going to win the division.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Well, you better
Jerry.
get your offense to quit overturning the ball.
First of all, I'm supposed to
Jerry.
be talking about. We ain't even got you on the schedule right now. We want San Fran right now. This Monday night, man. The Dolphins ain't prime time, man. You know what I mean? Y'all canned up somewhere like some what's the fish that's in the can? Some mackerel or something. Okay, some mackerel.
Jerry, take 20 seconds and let the people know where they can find you.
Oh, man, I'm Gerry V. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, SNS Sports Card Sanctuary is where I'm hanging out right now doing card stuff. If you're interested in any basketball, baseball, football, we've got a ton of football that I do. We got breaks and all sorts of cards. And, yeah, and you find me this Sunday at Hard Rock Stadium watching them beat up on the Bengals without Burrow. Makes it a shame.
Yeah, y'all getting lucky.
Get lucky.
Y'all got Cincinnati on y'all schedule.
So do you.
No, we don't. We got
No, they actually don't.
We got Cincy on that schedule, bro.
Oh, that's right. We got
There's levels to this.
That's
There's
right,
levels to it now. You gotta understand. There's levels to it. We don't play third place teams because y'all just a third place team in y'all conference. We don't do that. So
don't worry.
Oh, I'm shooting today, Alex. I want all the smoke. I've been waiting for weeks. You know what I mean? Everybody was looking for me when we had our 2 little game slump. Okay. Where do you at now? Where do you at?
Mookie, take a solid minute after you just crucified your opponent there and tell us the game plan against the San Francisco 49ers, the work that you do with WUFO, Bills Mafia, the Tremaine Edwards fan jersey, and the fundraiser. You got a lot. I'll give you 2 minutes. Go.
There's a lot of love going on in Buffalo, man. Buffalo is the city of good neighbors, by the way. Let's not forget our boy Josh Norman chimed in fresh off of the COVID reserve list to donate. He's giving out grants for all the small businesses in the area. As long as they sign up to stars24.com, they will be able to, qualify for a grant. So that's another thing that's going on, within the Bills organization. And my boy Maine Savage, a.k.a. Tremaine Savage, Tremaine Emmons, actually donated a jersey for the Buffalo Police Athletic League that sponsors and do a lot of recreation with all the youth. They raised over 25,000. You know, what I mean, for what's that? Giving Tuesday. So you know, they're in conjunction with Power 96.5, the radio station that I'm the sports director at. We was able to make that happen. Me and my partner DeWitt lead the third. So you know, hit us up. San Francisco 49ers is prime time, baby. Y'all wanted to see the Bills, y'all got them. The next 4 out of the 5 games. All right, y'all gonna see some real good football. We're gonna be aggressive on the defensive side, which we've been playing as of late. And majority of all our guys is healthy, so it should be no excuses. All right, and I'm accountable for whatever I'm saying right now. It should be no excuses for the Bills to make a run, clinch the division, knock off Pittsburgh, all that. You know what I mean? All that. So we see y'all in the playoffs real soon.
Oh, by the way, I saw that interview you had with Stephen Ness. Let the people know. What did he have to say, and how good you got it in that Buffalo world, brother?
Well, you know what I mean? Hey, man, you know, it's all love. You know what I mean? I've been dealing with the guys for quite a while. You know, Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Air. You know what I mean? I've been young pump now, you know, hey, you know, protect the shield and, you know, through the good graces, I'm able to cover them now. You know what I mean? So it's some familiarity, some comfortable, you know, stuff is going on with the guys. And, you know, they open up to, you know, some of the good questions I say because, hey, at the end of the day, it's all football, right? So I'm talking football, and that's what they love to do. So, you know, I get some good answers. Don't forget tomorrow night is going down. I got Nick Bakay on. I got Nick Bakay, a crazy comedian guy. He's a Buffalo native and Bills fan. He'll be on my show tomorrow. Check out Buffalo Fanatics, The Path to the Playoffs on YouTube tomorrow with your host, myself, and special guest Buffalo Bill Mario Addison will be on deck as well. You know what I mean? It's every Friday on the Buffalo Fanatics network, YouTube, and all that. I'll send you guys the link. You can check it out.
Huh? Mookie Hawkins putting in work.
I seen Eric right there. Eric,
What's up, Diggs?
What's up? What's up, E? What's up?
I ain't got nothing to say, brother. You said it all tonight, sir. Thank you. Thank you. I just had to say who got Diggs. That's all I had to say. Good night.
I salute
you. Who got Diggs?
I don't know.
Carousel.
Yeah.
Carousel.
Yeah.
Carousel. This the carousel. On or you off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off.
What?
Knock 'em out. Carousel.
Yeah.
Carousel.
Yeah.
Carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off.
What?
Knock 'em out.
That was a little bit more spirited than I expected that to be, but that's what happens when you have AFC East rivals that are actually starting to eat. Now that the bones of the New England Patriots are finally starting to settle and the Crows have left, vultures are tearing everything apart. Buffalo is leading that division. Miami is on their heels like a pimp won their money. Let's talk about a team that actually does want their money, but shares the same name as their opponent's stadium. The Mercedes-Benz Dome? How does that happen in the South? Well, how do you allow people to bite in the South? Enter in first-time contributor, Joe Carlino.
What's going on?
Long time no see, sir. Long time no see.
I know it's been way too long. I think the last time we spoke, you said something about what was it? A four something
5-11.
5-11. All right, we gotta fix that. 5-11. My apologies on that. We're getting close to your prediction, so you know we're close.
First time you guys played the Saints, it was ugly, it was nasty, and it was with Taysom Hill. Fast forward, now 2 weeks later, you get a second shot at these boys. Taysom Hill does not impress me at quarterback. That defense impresses the hell out of me. What's the plan?
Well, going off of what you actually just said, Alex, yeah, Taysom Hill at quarterback, it's pretty clear. Like, he is much better as that gadget player or whatever. Like, I mean, we saw for 2 straight weeks, he's gotten a rushing touchdown in the exact same position. At the goal line, 1 or 2 yard line, they bring in all the extra linemen, they run power, and he waltzes in for the score. Now, granted, last week, and I think you might have alluded to it earlier in the show or in a previous debate with all the other guys on the carousel, that the Broncos, they had their whole quarterback quandary or whatever. So basically, we saw
No, I'll double down on Mike Tomlin. We saw the Saints JV squad put 31 on the Broncos in a sense. Now we got 2 full games of Taysom Hill as for film and review and all that. I'm looking forward to seeing what we do personally against him because the guy he may not have all the greatest passing stats in the world. He only threw I think like 78 yards against Denver's defense, which isn't really the same as it used to be back when they carried Peyton to that Super Bowl 5 years ago. But they still got some pieces there, even though those pieces are hurt. But granted, I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do on round 2 because I was actually talking with my buds that we do over at Downtown Saints because we did like a couple of crossover podcasts with them, both for the Falcons game and then we're doing the Saints game with them. If we look at it, Atlanta came off the bye week last year, beat the Saints in the Dome. Then the Thanksgiving game, we had the 3 onside kick recoveries in a row, which I still can't figure out how the heck we did that. But we lost that game. Then we had the game after the bye week, and the Saints won in the Dome. Is it going to be Atlanta now wins this Sunday in Atlanta? I don't know because you also alluded to it, man. That defense is legit right now. That Saints defense is flying across and Cam Jordan, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. He is one of the best exterior defensive linemen in the game. Probably, he's easily top 5, maybe borderline top 3. It depends on who you ask for the ranking, but he is just phenomenal, that guy. And then you got, I think Davenport's coming into his name. You got Onyemata, you got Hendrickson, you got Quan and DeMario up the middle. Lattimore.
I thought you were a Falcons fan. What's going on here? You just naming off people and you're machismoing. What's the deal here, bro?
In all fairness, as much as I'm a Falcons fan, I'm a fan of the NFL in general. And when there's a team that earns my respect and earns credit, I'm going to give it to them. That whole rivalry. I've said it for years that, and I got some flack with this. I said Drew Brees was the best quarterback in the NFC for years, and I got flack on that. And I got, Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback. Yeah, he was probably good at that time. Or yeah, Russell Wilson's the best quarterback. He was good at that time. But Brees has been consistent his entire career, especially in that division. Our division, with the exception of this year, because we thought it was going to be really competitive, and then the Saints are on their win streak, even though
we spoke about this during the COVID time, sir. We spoke about this.
Okay, yeah, you're probably right. We did. I have to go back and check that tape on that. But we did agree that the Saints were the team to beat. I think we both agreed on that because they were the proverbial.
I tried to inform the people that I was working with at the time. They didn't want to hear it. I tried to tell the people who thought that they were going to rise up, and y'all didn't want to hear it. Now, fast forward, it's week 13. You guys are fighting with Carolina to stay away from the bottom of the basement. Tampa Bay's been embarrassed not once but twice from the Saints, and the Saints are holding on by a thread to the number 1 seed because they don't want to be on the road for the playoffs, and they need that first round bye. Last week, no Todd Gurley, no Julio Jones. You kind of need them against the Saints. Have you heard any health or status report?
From what I saw from D. Orlando Ledbetter of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, from Will McFadden of AtlantaFalcons.com, Julio was out on the practice field, but he didn't practice. Him and Gurley did not practice today, but Younghoe Koo got upgraded to full participation in that. So, we're hoping that he gets, the Pro Bowl nod and everything because he has been phenomenal right now in the kicking game. Especially, he had that little slump. I think he had a little slump in there because with Atlanta, sometimes, you could have like 1 or 2 bad games and they're like, yeah, you got to get out of here. Go. Goodbye. We don't want you here no more. And then the third game, they come back and they're like, oh, yeah, we love you again. No hard feelings. But for Sunday, I mean, if we actually look at it though, Alex, I mean, did you catch any of the Raiders game on Sunday?
Yes, it was a complete annihilation. It was a beatdown. Derek Carr fumbled not once but twice. You held Josh Jacobs to under 30 yards rushing. Henry Ruggs never went deep, never got a pass completed deep. Darren Waller caught 2 passes for 10 yards. I do my homework, sir. It was decimation. 43-6.
It was definite decimation. And to an extent, Henry Ruggs did go deep once. They were 4th and 3 from the Atlanta 40 or the 42-yard line. It was somewhere in the Atlanta 45 to 40. 4th and 3. Carr throws it to Ruggs, and he gets out at the 3. He had Terrell on him in coverage. It was textbook 50-50 ball. And then I think there was a holding penalty or 2 holding penalties because they went to like the 23, and they got to like the 3-yard line. They had to kick a field goal. And then, Atlanta drives. We get our I think we get our touchdown for that afterwards. And then we had the 1 field goal right before the halftime. It was 16-3, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, 16-3, second half, Atlanta plus second half of football games equals Heath Ledger and Joker, that meme, and here we go. And I was ready for it.
Mr. Carlino, considering that we had our debate in April-May, and now here we are in December, and it's almost the end of 2020, how far was my prediction off, and what's your prediction for Sunday's game?
Well, when it comes to your prediction, you did say that 5-11. I thought it was 4-12, or I think you were at 4-12, but then you upped it to 5-11 because you didn't know what we were going to get from Carolina. I think you did say that we didn't know what we were going to get with Carolina, and you were on the Bucs bandwagon, which they're doing. Okay. I mean, we know about what's going on with them. For Sunday, I want to see Atlanta win on Sunday. I mean, right now they're 3.5-point underdogs. The over-under is 46. I'm saying take the over on that game, by the way. I'm not a gambling man, but I say take the over on it. I just feel like we're not going to see only 31 points with it being a 24-9 game. I don't think we're seeing that again. And I really think that this week, I'm going to make a bold prediction. Atlanta gave up 8 sacks against the Saints last time. They got 17 in the last 2 games. I'm going to make the bold prediction that the Saints don't register a single full sack. Like if they get sacks, it's going to be half sacks. So, Cam gets half a sack and Onyemata gets half a sack.
Just want to point out to you, sir, that Matt Ryan had 150 yards passing with 2 interceptions. He was sacked 8 times, and the team scored a total of 3 points. 2, 8, 3. Atlanta lost a 28-3 lead against the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that we did. I like the reference there, even though it was 24-9 was the final in the Saints game. Because we did have 3 field goals in that game. Koo had a 50-yarder, I think a 30-yarder, and a 40-yarder, or 2 50s and a. But the Saints have a good team. We're not just gonna undermine them. I mean, they are the defending division champions 3 years running. We have to prepare for ourselves. And Sean Payton is a good coach, even though my folks say he looks like the Grinch. They say he looks like Jim Carrey without the green mask on. But I'm going to make that bold prediction that Atlanta does not, give up a full sack. So Cam Jordan is going to need help to get to Matt Ryan this week. That's what I mean by the half sacks. And I'm going to say Atlanta wins 25-19.
Joe Carlino, a friend and colleague, and congratulations on graduating, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
Take 30 seconds, let the people know who you are since it's your first time on the Carousel and how they can find you.
All right, sounds good. So I write for Downtown Sports Network LLC, which is founded by a guy named Jake Ellenbogen. You can find him on Twitter at JKBogenDTSN. You can follow me on Twitter at JoeCarlino14. You can follow the Falcons page at DTSN Falcons. And you can check us out tomorrow. My bud Tyler Vining and I, who are the hosts of the Falcons pod, we're joining Dylan Abear and Devin Jackson, who are our Saints correspondents, to do another preview for the Falcons-Saints game. And Alex, I do want to throw it out here for you, since you are a Bucs supporter. Would you like to join us one day as the Bucs-Falcons games come up to do a podcast recording?
Oh, absolutely. Please. I do not run away from smoke. I'm a lefty, not a righty. You guys want to invite me on the show to try to clown me and embarrass me? The Buccaneers are ready this year. Please invite me on.
You said you're lefty. You're left-handed?
Yes.
All right. I knew you were a good man. I'm left-handed too.
Maybe it's the brain power. I'm not quite sure. But yes, you would like to invite me on. I'll be gracious. I'll be nice. I won't tap dance for you, though.
Oh no, word. Just know we're gonna put you on the hot seat. So you're gonna have to take some questions that may be a little controversial at times. Like we're gonna need you to be as open-minded as possible, because that's what we do. Because it's the hot seat in hot Atlanta.
Not a problem. I want that smoke. Bring it. Send me the invite. I'm there.
You got it. And check us out when we do our first, because we're I also got the Bucs super fan. I messaged him, Big Nasty. I think you've seen him before, right? The guy who has the construction hat with the rhino horn on top of it. Took a risk on it, and I'm honored that he is going to give us, time to talk about the Bucs with him.
Right on. We'll be in touch, Mr. Carlino.
You got it, Alex. Thank you, and thank you, Eric, as well. I see that he is in the chat right now.
Carousel, carousel, carousel. This the carousel. On or you off? Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out. Carousel, carousel, carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off? Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out.
So as this show comes to a close, I started with the Jets. We've talked to Detroit, Chicago, Dallas, Baltimore, Kansas City, the Chargers. But we haven't talked to the Vegas Raiders. And we just got done talking to Atlanta. Maybe we should hear from the Raiders. Entering NFL zone, Phil Jones. Brah, what happened Sunday? Mute. Can you
hear me? All right. It's frustrating. This was a trap game. Raiders did something, really surprising. Offensively, they were trash. Defense, they came out, did a 3-0. They did their best to try to hold off the Falcons. I mean, I spoke to folks and told them, I said, hey, look, this is a good 3-6. I think they were 3-7 at the time. Now they're 4-7. This is still a good team. They have a high-powered offense. They were second in the NFL in yards. So to see that my defense was holding them off as best as possible during that first half, I was like, okay, good. Offense, do your job. When you look at the tape, and the tail of the tape is just ugly as hell. One, we go back to Derek Carr having these little hands, these little puppet hands. Two, you look at why are you so focused on throwing to Darren? I know Darren Waller is becoming this top tight end in the NFL, but when you're throwing, you have 90 targets, and he's only had 64 catches, and it has only amounted to only 546 yards. That ain't doing anything. Where you could be distributing that to guys like Hunter Renfrow and Henry Ruggs. I looked at all 22, surprisingly enough, Henry Ruggs was open more than just 2 times. It was about a good 5 or 6. So my whole thing is this. Raiders are going to have to really rebound. And if they don't rebound, especially against the Jets, I'm going to say this. For these final games, this is once again Derek Carr auditioning to maintain his job.
You better beat the Jets. You better beat the Jets. Bro, if the Raiders lose to the Jets.
If the Raiders lose to the Jets, Derek Carr needs to be benched if it's coming offensively. And you need to go on and say, let's go rock with Mariota just to finish the season off. It's simple. Come out, do your job. You have to win these last games. You can't lose another game because the way the playoffs are set off, you're in a situation where that team could go 10-6 and they win the tiebreaker, and you're sitting out there like, oh, we SOL. But we did have a winning record, but what's the point of that? 10-6 is now.
Week 16, Miami. That's a playoff game. The winner of that Saturday night matchup is going to the playoffs.
No, absolutely. And I've looked at that. I've looked over it probably about 9 or 10 times, and I'm just like, you got to beat the Dolphins. I mean, like, you got to. If somebody gets fined, if you're going to have to play a little dirty in this game, so be it. But the fact of the matter is you have to win out. You have to win this week. You got to win against the Colts. You got to win against the Dolphins. You got to win against the Chargers. And you got to go into Denver and finish them off. Now, Derek Carr, he played a game. I don't know. He played a game in cold weather this week. This season against Cleveland. It was that weird weather game where it was like snow, then rain, then extreme winds. It was, what do they call it? I don't know. It was just madness. You go into East Rutherford and you're dealing with probably about 46 degrees, and you're probably dealing with 40% chance of rain. Sounds like what happened last year. So the fact of the matter is Derek Carr has to go in there and redeem himself. Once again, you need to come out. If it's not raining as bad as we expect, you need to throw that ball to not just Darren Waller. You need to get everybody else involved. You whine and complain all in all season saying that you don't have enough weapons. You hear other fans that are in his cult that said, oh, he needs weapons. He needs upgrades. Well, you got it, sir. You got Henry Ruggs. You got Nelson Aguilar. You have Waller, Witten. You got Renfro. You got Brian Edwards. So you got more guys. So what's the problem? Why are you not distributing the rock to these guys that you asked for?
Phil Jones, NFL's own. You want to say it with me as we finish the show? It's the Carousel. And guarantee you, I'll be watching that nasty Vegas Jets game. Either you're on
or you're off.
Carousel. Yeah. Carousel. Yeah. Carousel. This the Carousel. On or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. What? Knock them out. Carousel. Yeah. Carousel. Yeah. Carousel. This the Carousel. On or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're